Okay, so hello, thank you first of all everyone for coming to Autumn at Hustings. It's really nice of you all to come along and get engaged with student politics. Tonight's event is a collaboration between Brig and Politics Society, who wrote the questions on hosting tonight, as well as the AirTV team who are filming and editing the event. The way things are going to be run is we're going to have 4 sections, one for each of the sabbatical positions, where we'll have an opening remark from every candidate, some prepared questions, some addressed individually, some addressed to the group. Then we'll open the floor to questions from the audience before closing remarks from each candidate. So then without further ado, we will start with sports, then we'll do education, followed by communities, and ending with union president. Okay. So can I have the sport candidate then, please?
Hello everyone, I'm Anya, I'm the Brig Sports Editor, and I'm here with Angelica, who is one of the sports president candidates. So I'm going to hand over to you and you can do your opening statement.
Okay, my name is Angelica Operandi and I'm running to be your sports union president because I want to utilise my passion and enthusiasm for sport to drive every club onto bigger and better things. So I first joined the athletics club at the university in my first year at Stirling, and since then sport has been an integral part of my university experience. Being a part of the sport community at Stirling has allowed me to witness firsthand the power of sports and how it brings people together and it fosters lifelong friendships and also promotes personal growth. And I'd love to have the opportunity to continue providing this experience for all students in Stirling. So the main points of my manifesto are approachability, development and employability. So first, approachability. As sports president, I want to create a positive, relaxed, friendly environment where students can approach the president at any time to offer ideas or pose questions or kind of just have a chat about whatever's going on in the sports environment. And to do this, I want to implement a regular one-to-one booking system where students on club committees can kind of go to president hours and they can have the support they need, like directly with the sports president, and get any issues or queries done then and there. And moving on to development, so I want to encourage and collaborate with every club within the sports union and help create more long-term sustainable club development plans which are tailored specifically to each club. So club committees change every year, so having a long-term, really important plan in place helps clubs, coaches, members just consistently work towards the goals to benefit members and paves the way for continued success. So through this, I want to implement a mid-term reporting system whereby there's 3 stages of an academic year where club committees are required to put into this mid-term reporting system of how they're getting on with their development plan, if they're meeting the goals, or if anything needs to be done to kind of help them get there by the end of the year. And finally, employability. So I want to implement a program of education to ensure our talented sports club leaders have the resources, knowledge and support to translate their skills that they've learnt within sport into their CVs, job applications and just into the wider world.
Thank you. Our other candidate, Laura Shaw, can't be here with us tonight, but she has provided us with a statement. So she says, I have thoroughly enjoyed my first year in office as sports president, so for me, it was a no-brainer to run for a second term. I truly love my job and my involvement in facilitating sport for students. A large part of my reason for running for a second term is that I have an in-depth understanding of how we function as a sports union and what we currently deliver. That's why I am looking at really focusing on expanding opportunities for our students next year. Also, looking ahead to my second year, I would like to have a larger focus on working with students who are not currently participating in sport. Sorry I can't be there tonight, but if anyone has any questions about my manifesto, please come and speak to me after the union's hustings tomorrow. So we'll just move on to some questions now. So what inspired you to run for president?
So in the last 2 years, I've been track and field captain of athletics and then president this year, and I'm also BUCS, which is British University College College's Sports Student Ambassador for the whole of the UK and Northern Ireland. So I've had a lot of experience within the sporting world, and kind of I'm in my 4th year, so it was either I go for it or I don't really get the opportunity again. So it was nothing that I feel the sports union's doing like negatively at the moment that I really wanted to change, but it was more just this was my only time and opportunity to have this role, so I just thought I may as well take advantage of it.
And what do you think the biggest issue facing students who want to get involved in sport is?
I think so. I've done athletics since I was little, so I always knew going into university that I was going to do sports again, and I was probably going to go into athletics. So for me, it was still daunting a little bit coming into first year and like meeting new people, but I was almost prepared because I had that knowledge of what the sport's like. But for those who haven't been involved in sport as they were younger, it's really scary, like coming into like even just the gym or any sports clubs, because kind of everyone knows each other and they've been on it for maybe 3-4 years before. So the main thing that like stops people from going to it is just it's really scary, and I kind of want to work with club committees and have a single kind of like inclusion committee member on every club committee to help those people who are a bit more scared, a bit more shy, to get onto the sports, and so they can have the same experience of Stirling that I've had.
And how would you make sport at Stirling more inclusive?
So I'm actually currently, so with my role as book student ambassador, I have to create like an action plan with 3 main goals, and one of the goals is to help para students get involved in sport. So from my time in the athletics club, I've been like involved with books anyway, and you kind of see those who have competed in sport who are para athletes. They've done it before university, so they kind of find it easier to get into it, but there's a lot of barriers for those who have impairments but they don't know how to get into the sporting world. So with the action plan I'm actually currently doing, I'm already working with the sports union to kind of link with the admissions department to get those students who have an impairment or a disability and have that information shared with the sports department, so they can then reach out to those students to ensure that they're getting involved in sport the same as everyone else.
And your President Hours initiative sounds great, but how do you plan on balancing that with other responsibilities?
Yeah, so at the moment I actually balance a lot anyway. Like I'm a student, I'm 4th year, I'm president of the athletics club, I'm on the sports exec committee, I'm book student ambassador, I have a bit of a social life on the side. So I already am trying to balance a lot of things, so that's really helped like my organisational skills. So I think in the time between like June and August, when there's not a lot of students here, it's the time where you can really look at what your weekly schedule is kind of going to be. Plan out one day of like a Thursday or Friday, maybe it's a bit quieter for what's going on campus, and that be a full day, or even like a 10 to 4 kind of thing of you could just go online and book 15 minutes and anyone who's on a club committee can do that. And I think that would be really easily managed, because a lot of the problems you have is just in your emails anyway. So if you're there in front of them, you can get it solved so much quicker.
And do you feel any pressure running against the current sports president?
I think obviously to a certain extent, like everyone knows Laura, she's been here for a year anyway. So it's a bit daunting because you feel like, well, you know, you're going against, kind of coming in for someone's job that already has it. But like I'm quite a confident individual, and I think I'd be good in the role. So I've been enjoying campaigning so far.
So ultimately, why should Stirling students vote for you?
I think because I know Laura obviously has the experience of being in the sports union, but so do I. Like with my role as president at the moment, I am like the line manager of 5 different coaches. So through that, I have a connection with the director of sport at Stirling. I also manage like 6 scholars in my sport, so kind of their relationships in more higher level sport. And then I have in my club, there's 120 members, so about half of them are social, so I know kind of how to keep them involved in the sport, how to allow them to compete, different things like that. So I know every kind of level that a student's at. I've been involved in sport for such a long time. I also know how the book system works because I kind of work for them in a way, voluntary, so I know how that works in the same way that Laura does. And I think the one thing that I can bring to it is, as a president, I've seen the sports union and I think it's great, but there's obviously always room for change, and I've seen little bits and pieces from me talking to other club committee members or other presidents that are like, oh, we've not been able to do this or this, and I think there's just an easy way that I could get that done.
Thank you. I'm going to open questions up to the audience now, so if anyone has any questions to ask. No? We'll just go for closing remarks then.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for letting me have the opportunity to come and talk. I know Hustings is tomorrow as well, so I'm really excited to talk about that as well. But I've really enjoyed campaigning so far for sports president, and yeah, I hope you'll vote for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.